social, emotional, and persistent coaching. So, got some good stuff. You gonna sit on my seat? Yeah. I cheated. I tried to get it end of the table.
Walk in front, go for it.
John, yeah, that's what I was going for. Girl, yeah, get that in at least. I'm probably gonna say what I just said again, because it's gonna be on tape.
Oh, you taping already?
Yes, it's going.
Suck it in, ladies.
Okay, again, thank you everybody for showing up today, especially with the flash flood warnings and all the Amber Alert type of things. We got zooming in on our phone. I'm like, what the heck?
I said you probably afraid that I would be here because of that.
And I was concerned. That's why I kept going out to the front, because I was kind of paying attention to just make sure, you know, if I seen anybody. Or, I don't know what that was gonna do. If I was gonna run out and save you or whatever, but I did. I kept going out to the front looking to see if I seen anybody walking or coming up.
My problem was I didn't know what door to come. Cause I opened that door and I see a wooden door. I was like, okay, I don't think. So I walked to your other door and the door was like, I said, okay, you know, where do I go?
Yeah, we just have to get used to
My
it.
problem is I was gonna come whether it rain or hail or snow. I like these programs.
Thank you.
Hey,
I really enjoy them.
That's good to hear. So again, thanks for going.
Yeah, I wasn't on this.
We're gonna make sure you eat. So we're gonna get started today. Today we are talking about social, emotion, and persistent coaching. We're gonna do some things, go over our vignettes as we always do, and have a nice class. Hit it, Tamara. Did everybody get a chance to sign? Okay, here we go. I'll check that.
You gotta actually hit the arrow. There you go.
Real patient. In this part of the program, you will learn how to use a kind of coaching that will help your children to gain confidence so they can sustain their attention and motivation to pursue an activity. Watch how the next parents coach their children and think about the benefits for each of these two children.
The mommy needs a car ride? This one won't. Did you try just twist it a teeny bit and see if you can get the little pokey parts to hook up? Hey, you did it. Excellent.
I can make another.
Do you think there's room for the mommy?
Not if the dad's there.
No, small car, huh?
How about we make it bigger this time?
Good idea.
That's what we're doing.
You can use these wheels.
Can you help?
I have wheels right here. Just like you're doing it.
Then be like, I want
One
to go.
more. There you go. You got it in there, Dorian. You didn't think you could, and you did it.
Everyone on. Everyone on. You can get on them too.
Okay, Tamara. Just stop, Tamara.
Sometimes children have difficulty getting started with an activity
And what I'm
because
gonna
they
do is I
lack
can't hear that
confidence.
that good. She's gonna plug that speaker in, a different speaker in, and we're gonna play that again because it's gonna be hard to discuss it and we can't really hear it that good.
During part one of this program, we have talked about the importance of following your children's lead in play and having special time with them where you are child-centered and focused on their interests and passions.
Good job, Simone. You're patient.
In this part of the program, you will learn how to use a kind of coaching that will help your children to gain confidence so they can sustain their attention and motivation to pursue an activity. Watch how the next parents coach their children and think about the benefits for each of these two children.
The mommy needs a car ride? This one won't. Did you try just twist it a teeny bit and see if you can get the little pokey parts to hook up?
Hey, you did it.
I made it.
Excellent.
I can make another.
Do you think there's room for the mommy?
Not if the daddy's there.
No, small car, huh? We
How
don't
about
think.
we make it bigger this time?
Good idea.
That's what we're doing.
You can use these wheels.
Can you help?
Need the
I have
big
wheels
family
right here.
car.
How does this go? I can't do it.
Just like you're doing it.
Then do it. I want to
There's one
go.
more. There you go. You got it in there, Dorian. You didn't think you could, and you did it.
Yeah. Don't everyone on. Everyone on. Everyone on.
Bah, bah.
You can get on them too.
Sometimes children have difficulty getting
Give her the mouse, please. Is a mouse over there? Could you
Yeah,
use the
right
mouse timer? That way you can do it before we get into it. Thank you. Okay, so how are these parents building your child's self-confidence?
Tell them that they can do it,
Yes.
letting them do it.
Yes, continuing to say, letting them do it. And also, did you know once she did get it right, she made sure to praise her for it, which is very important. A lot of times as parents, do we jump in sometimes before we should jump in? We don't give our kids a chance to try to solve it themselves. Okay. How does the mother handle her daughter when she says she can't do it?
She told me you're doing it the right way, like, you're encouraging, you are doing it the right way, just like, not really saying the words, but,
Encouraging.
yeah, by, just saying that you are doing it right, kind of telling her, keep on going.
And that was it. She kept encouraging her to do it instead of stepping in. And we talk about resilience sometimes, but you're building resilience in your kid because you're letting them solve that, And it's so, as a parent, sometimes we just want to jump in as soon as it's a problem. But I think she did a great job by just, even when she never reached out for the toy to try to, put the piece. I could see myself just trying to put it together, but she never did that. So I thought that was great how she handled that with her daughter.
Now, would it be a good thing to, like, show them? Like, she's struggling, and say, look, grab the pieces and show her?
I think just to sit back and let them try for themselves initially. Now, I would never sit there for 30 minutes and let my kid, when they go to crying, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So gauge it as a parent. When you start maybe seeing that frustration, you may want to boost up them encouraging words. Mm-hmm. And you're doing great, and praising them, what they've done so far. But I definitely say give them a chance to do it themselves. We definitely want them to be able to problem solve. So that may be switching the piece around and be able to teach them to problem solve. They got to try it. Mm-hmm. So, Mom, you got to sit back a little while longer.
Okay, be patient.
Yes, we got to be patient. And again, I know it's not always easy. How are the children feeling when they are playing with their parents? How do you think they're feeling when they're playing with their parents?
They feel comfortable,
Cheerful.
Yes, they were.
happy.
And that's it too. And it was family time. In my eye, I seen it as family time. I was talking to a parent earlier today. She was saying how she used to use the Y for family time. She said we didn't have any money, so we would take the free passes and the whole family would go. And they would go to the Y and just do things as a family, all of them, So you make the use of best of what you have. So that was great family time,
In the libraries, on Mondays, if you get there early enough to be the first one, they give out passes to different places in the community, 4 free passes, used for a week.
What library?
Boyd, Buckman Fish.
All the libraries do
They
it.
got the Castle Museum. They used to have the Children's Zoo, but they don't get that one no more. They got, what is it, the Children's
Museum, yeah.
Museum.
The other,
There's
it's
4
not the
different
children's museum,
places.
but it's the other. Yes, and you can also go online and check those out. They do so many per day online at the library website online.
Mm-hmm.
So it's definitely ample opportunities for to take advantage of free family time in the community also. So
And then
thank you for sharing
And
that.
then it's good to take your kids to church too.
Yeah,
The
it's
value,
activities.
if you can't get to the library, because everybody don't have a car to go to the
A
library.
lot of
so-
churches are doing a lot of family-oriented things.
And they got, we try to, and that's good, that's part of what we want in Saginaw, stuff to be, what they call it, walkability.
Yes.
Okay, So, what kind of playtime can you do with your own children? Let's brainstorm some different things that you can, and I think that's what we were doing when you talked about taking them to church activities and taking them to the museums and different things that we just talked about. Those are some things of, that we can play things that we can do with our kids, you know. Can you think of anything else?
What I used to do with my kids when they were small, we used to do food.
Cooking.
You get, well, cooking, if you get 1 to 10, then I used to do with dollar bills, then I go up and we had a good time, but she always used to win, so.
She would win the money all the time.
You can always go to the park.
Yeah.
And I like the park.
There's simple little things, go for a walk with her, or be outside with, my daughter loves to play with her chalk. My sidewalk's all full of chalk.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's her playtime, we just draw, just let her go, and you know, she's holding. What I recognize, on her own, she's learning how to hold the chalk properly to write. And I was impressed, because I never taught her that, but she must have watched us and knows how to hold it properly.
And you just said something, and that's funny because you led us right into some of what we're going to be talking about with social, emotional, and persistent coaching. Is your child pays attention to what you're doing and they mimic what you're doing. So she, you know, while you drawing pictures on the sidewalk for her, she's paying attention how you're holding that chalk. And now I'm gonna draw my own pictures, Mom. So you know that's how we always want to make sure that you know we're giving them good things to mimic, but they definitely mimic everything what you're doing.
Yeah.
So that's a good one.
Wishes too.
You know what else they could do? Set up playhouse in the house for the kids.
Oh, you
I never did go play out.
Or do hide and go seek. That's
Set
good.
up a playhouse.
Go hide for a couple minutes.
You know,
You know how they do it, you know how they used to do it in the preschools? Have a
Yeah,
little
we
playhouse
still,
area?
that's,
If it's raining outside, you know.
yeah, it's, my grandkids do that, they call it building forts.
Oh,
They get little towels, I mean, the sheets and everything, but,
Yeah, I used to like to play,
yeah, so they still do
blocks.
that.
What is that, Mega block?
Yeah, mega block.
Let them
Oh,
build,
yeah, that's
create their own
It's
activity,
really nice.
build a house, build a car, even though it don't look like a house, whatever, right?
Because.
But to them, you know, when they creative,
Let's see the next video.
Started with an activity because they lack confidence. In the next vignette, notice the coaching strategies that these parents use with their 5 and 8-year-old children to get them engaged with their art activity.
¿Cómo se va a hacer la guitarra?
¿Dónde está la guitarra?
Aquí, pero que lo agarre así.
Maybe if you did this one's standing up to the side of him, you could stand that up. What is that called?
Puedes hacer aquí al lado
The bass or something? Oh, you want the guitar?
La guitarra.
Pero ya como está así nada más, ya no vas a poder hacer la guitarra, pues tendrías que hacerlo así con su brazo agarrando la guitarra.
Could you
Entonces
just
va a
put
ser-
the guitar in
entonces
just
va a
in
ser-
this hand, a small guitar right there?
Sí, o lo puedes agarrar, lo puedes hacer así, mira, lo puedes.
The bass?
Entonces
What's this
dibujo
called?
aquí el cello. Entonces pongo aquí grande el cello, fíjate, el cello es más grande que la guitarra. Entonces pones aquí el cello, derecho, parado pues, ¿no? Fíjate cómo está el cello.
But it looks really good right there, Maya, where you mix the brown, the pencil and the green together.
Más grande, ¿verdad? El círculo. Porque es que
Por eso el
nunca
círculo.
tiene un círculo y...
Yeah, you're right.
Voy a
No, pero
hacer,
sí puedes
How
hacer
big do you want it though?
voy a hacer la piñata.
You
Puedes
can
hacerlo
make a
de
different
tamaño.
one?
Sí.
Voy a hacer la piñata.
Bueno.
La estrella. Oh,
¿Dónde
that
quieres
looks
ese
good.
lado? Ah.
You go. Y'all tell me.
did it start over? It did?
So it's not done. Oh, two parts.
Fill it up.
Este me parece chango.
Porque es azul y tiene que ser este color, mira.
¿Cuál color?
A ver, ahorita le pongo otra así.
Tienes que tener café.
Okay, yeah, that's a good idea.
Te pongo este.
Sí.
Yeah, that's better.
That's good. Okay. That one was a little different. How do you think, how do the parents encourage their children to start drawing in this vignette? Did you notice that?
I noticed that the parents started before the children.
So is that how they got them started, that they got in, they started in?
Got them interested in it, by when they started doing it.
And that's what he was doing, trying to get us interest by
Right.
It looked like he was more self-controlled because it looked like he wanted to keep drawing instead of the little kids. So I think he should have just eased off just a little bit and let the kids perform so they know how to draw. But he was just going down.
Yeah, but he was enjoying it, you
Yeah.
know, and that's what we
I
want,
think
because your
that's
child
what-
see you
right.
enjoying it, and they know you're genuine with that. So I think it was fine that he was enjoying it, and sometimes we do get into it, I call it. So, yeah, it's relaxing.
They make those coloring books for parents,
Yeah.
for adults.
Yeah, they have adult color, but I just recently noticed that someone mentioned it, and then I started seeing them around after they mentioned it. But yeah, they do that. So I think by the father starting off, the parents starting off, that encourage the kids, well, hey, mom's drawing and coloring, let me go ahead, I want to do it too.
Right.
Which a lot of times, again, the kids see what you're doing, so they want to do it. So that was a good idea.
Something positive. that they
Yes,
do.
definitely. How do they support their ideas? Did they do anything to support the kids' ideas?
Well, the one boy talked about the guitar and how he wanted it across the person, and they kind of tell him which is better, you know, give him like options, you know, I think it'd be better on this side, maybe a little easier to draw, you know. So, but it didn't discourage him, but it just gave him a little option to think out of the box, you know. So it's kind of like opening their mind. It doesn't
Right.
have to be like this. You can move the guitar over here, over there.
Right.
And then while the girl was looking through the book and, you know, deciding what she wanted to draw, they were still keeping, the mother was keeping attention to the girl, like she wanted to make the banata. And she was like,
Right.
oh, and they started talking, a little conversation, you know, you're gonna draw that, and she like really picked the area, and they were like trying to keep their attention between the both of them, you know.
Right.
So they don't feel left out from the other. Right.
Yep, and they all work together.
Mhm.
And they spoke 2 different languages,
Yeah,
but still working together.
Yes.
Oh, they did?
Yeah, they were
Spanish and English.
Speaking of the language, Spanish and English.
Oh,
Spanish
yes.
and English.
Exactly, Maria. That was something, you made some very good points about, you know, the parents encouraging them and continuing to encourage them throughout all of the drawing, and whether that meant them drawing it or, you know, whatever it took for them to stay interested in it, and give them different ideas and options. And like I said, when you talked about the guitar, instead of just saying, okay, yep, do it that way, he gave them some options. And you said one thing, think outside the box, and some things to think about. Not saying he said it has to be this way, because we don't want to do that with our kids when we're playing it, you know, in that type of setting. But just to be able to say, you know, you can try this, or you can try this, or you can try this. It's always good if you can give them options.
We have a question.
Oh, I didn't have a question. I was just going to say that in that time that she was talking about the nine, what you call it? But I call
You're not gonna say this good.
All right. Right. But she did praise about the colors of, you know, how the colors were, and she liked that color. So she did praise the child, a good girl. They praised about that.
Yes, and we want to make sure that we praise the child.
You
in your house ring.
Interest and say, I'm in a meeting, call you back later.
And I liked at that point, because again, she encouraged
She
her.
encouraged her by
How
praising
big is she?
that she was doing the drawing and coloring,
And-
so that.
Also, they encouraged Dad. He said that his monkey didn't look like a monkey because it was blue. And so they began to praise Dad.
And you know, that's a learned behavior. Dad and parents are praising them, so they know to do it back.
Oh, yeah.
If that's a learned behavior, so that's definitely a good thing. Is the father sharing his discontent with his drawing helpful to the children? We just discussed that about, it was definitely helpful. And I think we kind of be jumping ahead, because you guys, you're so good.
Thank you.
It talked about what modeling has occurred here between the parent, the father, and the son. And again, we just talked about that, a second ago, so. Next vignette.
Now that the parents have helped their children start their art activity, they continue to support their efforts. In the next vignette, think about the value of their approach for promoting their children's continued interest and motivation to draw.
You're concentrating so well.
¿Sí salió?
He's working on it. I wouldn't have thought to do 2 circles, but that's a good idea. I think this is called a base. Papa, me haces realizar esa parte. Y we can do that part. We can do that on
Ah,
your
quedó
own.
bien. ¿Quién hizo esto?
Yo hice,
Ahí está.
pero nomás tengo que hacer, que no tiene como estas limitas. Oh, es las
Ah,
cuerdas, ¿no?
las
No,
cuerdas.
no, no está, hay un como, no hay un hoyo.
One of the most difficult tasks for children is to have the patience to continue to persist at doing something, even when it
That was a short vignette, Debbie, we just watched, but again, we're talking about encouraging the kids. How are the parents encouraging their kids' self-confidence in the vignette we just watched? Did anybody pay attention to that?
Well, he was like having difficulty with the guitar, making the strings, and they were like, he was like, I can't do it, and they were like, oh, you have done it, you know, they're trying like saying, you know, it might not be perfect, but you are trying, you know, it does look what trying, even though the little boy's like, no, it's gotta look like this, and the father's like, no, you are doing a great job, you know, like, you know, it doesn't have to be perfect, as long as you give them the chance and the willing to try.
And that was very important, that the words you just said, and the words the father said about it doesn't have to be perfect. Because a lot of times our kids, and I know you sit out with your kids and you're doing drawing or whatever, and they don't get it exactly how they want. Sometimes they cry or they get frustrated because they can't get it. And just to say, it's fine how it is, you're doing a good job, you know. I think that's important, you know. It teaches the kids about being creative, and you know, everything is not going to be the blue sky and the green grass with the white picket fence on around the house. So, you know, that's what they were encouraging, and that again in itself builds self-confidence. What are the children learning?
What are the children want?
Yeah, I know. They
They're
are.
learning how to work together, communication. They're learning how to draw.
And that everything doesn't have to be perfect.
Yes. Which is very important, because we all know as adults, we go run into things in life and it's not gonna be perfect. So we're not setting our child up to think that everything is gonna be perfect,
Right.
you know, when we out in the world, in the real world. It would definitely be nice, because I would love a perfect world right now. When would you help your child, and when would you encourage your child to keep trying? So I think we talked about, at what point would you decide I need to step in and help my child? You know, he's been working on something, you've used those encouraging words. At what point do you think you need to step in and you know, do some physical helping out?
When the kids say, Mom or Dad, I got this. I can do it.
But when would you step in though? If they-
I wait until the kid truly in when he needs some help, or I will say, okay, do you guide it? And he said, yeah, Mom, I can do it, I can do it. But they'll give you signs when they don't want you to help them. So that's why I stop when they say, I got it.
But when you wanna step in, that's when they have tried and they get really frustrated. You see that they're really frustrated, and then you're trying to step in so you can calm them down, so they can, you know, maybe try a little bit more, try a little bit harder, but make sure you calm them down. If you step in and give them good pointers about how to do this and how to do this, and, you know, try to say encouraging words to calm them down a little bit, so they can.
Is it, well, what if they're ADHD, you can't calm them down? Is it okay? It's okay, I ain't gonna say is it. It is okay to say, you know what, let's take a breather from this.
Yeah.
And let's maybe go do something else. And then when they do get back to it, maybe they'll get it perfect, perfect to them, but right for them.
And you know, sometimes it's hard for a child, because some children wants it perfect, and there's no other way but
It is
perfect.
so bad.
And there's no other way but perfect to them. It's got to be straight. I mean, it's got to be that straight line. That guitar string got to be exactly the way.
And that's kind of discouraging too.
Right, and you, no matter what you say or how you say it too, that's the way it has to be. So I don't know what you do with that, but you know, you try, like you said, maybe take a break and then come back and try it over. And maybe I can help you to make it perfect, you know.
I think both of you guys gave good points as far as when you should step in or step out both ways. And you read your child. And that plays a big part of when you're gonna decide. You're paying attention to your child's cues. If your child starts to get frustrated and cry, it may cause for you to have that break. That may be the point where you want to physically say, well, let's take the blocks together. Do you think it's these blocks? Do you think it's this? You know, add some of that before you just go ahead and do it. You know, it may be these steps, or like you say, when your child says, I got this, then you know, step back. Or when they say, can you, literally if they say, can you help, you still may want to, you know, well, you were doing a great job, you know, let's try it a different way. You know, encourage them to try something different. But out of all of that, we want to pay attention to the kid.
Yeah, you pay attention to your child.
Sherry made a point about, well, what if you can't calm them down? If you know that your child is very hard to calm down, then we try not to get them in those situations. So you may need to step in a little sooner than somebody whose child don't get frustrated so quick. So we kind of just want to pay attention to our child's cues.
Teachers discipline.
Yep. Definitely. Oh, before you do that, let's do some brainstorming.
All right.
Okay. Now, how about we get into groups? We got enough people. These my diehards. They was here at the store. They got the So how about we get in a couple groups and come up with some encouraging. I'm gonna read it from the book. Break up into groups, into pairs, to brainstorm words to use to encourage your children to keep trying, even when the task is difficult. So maybe you guys just pair up and come up with a couple, just talk about some words you can use to encourage your child when they're having a difficult time. And we'll do 2 or 3 minutes, and then we'll share a couple ideas from each group.
Okay, we'll let the young man say something. You ain't said nothing all day, so you be
I
first.
was the first one to say something. Things that I use to encourage my kids.
Wait, no, you guys get together. Two. Oh, that's perfect.
Oh, two,
yeah.
Oh,
Y'all
I
get
can
together.
her.
We'll do 2 or 3 minutes. I know we should move y'all. Right. But let's do it that way, you guys. Miss Levine, you two. And just kind of brainstorm. We're only gonna do it in 2 or 3 minutes. Come up with some different ideas.
So you already got the answer.
Frustrated.
So encourage, you can do
Tell
it.
them,
Don't be on your terror. But what I say, that's okay, all right.
You hit it on the nerve that never
great
happened.
job.
But you a kid, Vera.
It looks good.
We heard
What they've done. So, say, keep going. You've done a great job.
So how would you do your child?
I had kids, and if I see the frustrated, I'm like,
And what if you run out?
I will run out of candy.
Oh, you do run
And
out.
I was still
You do it, what if you got a
I walk there,
I'm trying not to get into this. When we come into the big group and we'll talk about it. You guys come up with some ideas.
How would you tell your child?
Right. And then you know.
You had a child.
We don't know.
With you while she's doing her own good work, how would you address her? No, you can't sit there and watch it. Come on, I ain't gonna lose my conversation.
Of course.
I'm talking wrong. You better have a great reason. So if your child like drawing,
even on
It makes the kid feel even better.
what technique you use?
You know, you're really going deep with your
What if she just ain't drawing and just feel with scratching because that's all she knows how to do?
Right.
Okay, come on with a better answer. Because I got one.
I really didn't at all.
No problem. I was excuse her.
It was big books before she loved.
Give it 2 minutes.
2 minutes.
Tell me what book she wanted to read. And we'll pull around and she'll take the time to read it.
Right. Or a coaster or something.
Did everybody get a chance to come up with some ways that we can